All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, it is that time of the week, folks. My weekly picks in the world of the National Football League. We saw a good battle this past Thursday night. Originally, I did pick the Cardinals to win at home, but the DeAndre Hopkins injury at wide receiver really changed what they could do in their passing attack. Plus, they also had to deal with a very game and hungry Green Bay Packers team. Now, with that said, there are some tremendous games on tap for tomorrow, as well as the Monday night affair. And with that said, here are my picks for week number 8 in the 2021 NFL season. Now, you have a pair of teams in the NFC North that are looking to keep up with the Joneses in that division. I'm talking about the Carolina Panthers and Atlanta Falcons, as both of these teams are looking to avoid the basement in this division. After the strong start from Carolina, which saw them win their first 3 contests of the year, they have lost their last 4. And most notably, their quarterback, Sam Darnold, is struggling. On the flip side, for the Atlanta Falcons, they seem to be getting their sea legs, so to speak, and they are believing. You look at the play of veteran quarterback Matt Ryan right now for the Falcons, and he is giving this team a chance to win. And they are getting better on the defensive side of the ball, and that's a big thing. But I look at Carolina, the turnovers have really plagued them. They got embarrassed by a previously 1-win New York Giants team last week on the road, and I think for Carolina, they got to find a way to get back on track. Won't be easy because they are facing a confident Falcon team at home, and I'm going to take Atlanta to win by the score of 27-21. Now you're going to have the 1-6 Miami Dolphins traveling to Orchard Park to take on the 4-2 Buffalo Bills. Buffalo comes into this game favored by a pair of touchdowns, and rightfully so. The Bills are the best team in this division, while the Dolphins right now could be the worst. You look at the Dolphins right now, so many struggles, and it begins on the offensive side of the ball. You have a young quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa that you're asking to go up and face one of the better defenses in the AFC, and he's going to have his hands full tomorrow. Buffalo comes into this game favored by 2 touchdowns. I think they cover that, and I'm going to take the Bills at home by the score of 34-19. Now at Soldier Field, you're going to have the 3-4 Chicago Bears hosting the 2-4 San Francisco 49ers. And for the Niners, after that quick 2-0 start, they've lost their last 2 games as they've been plagued by injuries. The Niners need to find a way to get back on track. And I think this is a golden opportunity here. Why? Because number one, the Bears are going to be without their head coach, Matt Nagy. They're also going to be without their best defensive player in Khalil Mack. And you have a young quarterback in Justin Fields who is struggling. So I think it's important for this Niners front, led by Nick Bosa, to go out there and go and put some pressure on young Mr. Fields and try to rattle him and force him into a pair or a couple of turnovers, rather. You look at the Niners, it's all about their ground game. They have to get their running game going, win the line of scrimmage, and also win the possession clock in this game. I think the Niners find a way to squeak this one out, and I'm going to take San Fran on the road by the score of 20-17. Now it's all about the Hatfields and the McCoys, as you have the 3-3 Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to take on the 4-3 Cleveland Browns. Now, last year, these two teams met in the postseason, and it was Cleveland who went to Pittsburgh and dominated the Steelers. And I guarantee you the Steelers have not forgotten that. For the Browns right now, they are dealing with a slew of injuries, and it's really taking away from a team that some people felt was good enough to win the AFC coming into this season. For the Steelers, you know what? They've been up and down. Their defense has been there, but they've got to get more out of their offensive game. And I think the key for Pittsburgh in this contest, they have to get rookie running back Najee Harris going early and often to try to dictate things versus this Cleveland front seven and also take some pressure off of veteran quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. I talked about the injuries for the Browns in this game. I think the Steelers will be able to take advantage of that. And because of that, I'm going to take Pittsburgh on the road by the score of 23-20. Now, in the Motor City at Ford Field, you're going to have the 2-5 Philadelphia Eagles taking on the winless Detroit Lions. And we have seen the Lions fight. We've seen the Lions scrap. We've seen the Lions claw, but they still have been unable to get that first victory of the season. Came very close last week versus the Rams, and for their sake, they're trying to get over the hump. You look at the Eagles right now, and honestly, Jalen Hurts is not their quarterback of the future. And you could see the writing on the wall as Nick Sirianni, their first year head coach, is trying to figure it out. On the flip side for the Lions, Dan Campbell, credit to him for trying to get his team prepared on a week to week basis to go out there and win, not just compete. And unfortunately, they've come up short. Philly comes into this game favored by 3.5 points, but I think this is the week where it all comes together for the Lions. And I'm going to take the Lions at home by the score of 24-22. Now, a big AFC South battle as you're going to have the 5-2 Tennessee Titans traveling to Indy to take on the 3-4 Colts. Big game here because if the Titans win this division, they have some nice separation between themselves and the rest of their rivals in this division in order to win it. While if you're the Colts, you definitely want to hang around here. The key for me is this Colts front seven versus Derrick Henry, the Titans all-world running back. And Indy's really going to have to go out there and out physical the Titans at the line of scrimmage and also find a way to slow down Derrick Henry because once Derrick Henry gets going, you can be in for a very long afternoon. This Titans defense is getting better as the season is progressing, and that could be trouble for Colts quarterback Carson Wentz tomorrow. And because of that, along with the legs of Henry, I'm going to take the Titans on the road by the score of 28-20. Now at the Meadowlands, you're going to have the 5-2 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 1-5 New York Jets. The Bengals come into this game as an 11-point favorite. They also have a wealth of confidence right now, especially after they went on the road and knocked off the Baltimore Ravens last week. And it's the Bengals who are in first place in the AFC North. You look at the maturation process of young quarterback Joe Burrow. He has some tremendous talent to get the football to with his former co LSU alum in Jamar Chase. And you look at this team, they believe in Joe Burrow. They're flying around to the football, and they're facing a Jet team that does not have a lot of confidence right now, as this could be a long season for Gang Green. The Jets are struggling right now, and I don't think that those struggles will get any better tomorrow versus Cincinnati. This I'm going to take the Bengals by the score of 31-19. Oh, excuse me, 13. Now you're going to have the 6-1 Los Angeles Rams traveling to Houston to take on the 1-6 Texans. Now the Rams come into this contest favored by 16 points, and they know that they could be in for a battle. And the reason why I say that, the Rams are heavily favored at home last week versus the Lions, and the Lions were much more competitive than a lot of people expected them to be. But this time around, I look at this Rams defense going up against this Texans offense, and that is a matchup that really leans in the favor of the Rams. I look at this Texans offensive line; they're going to have their hands full with defensive tackle Aaron Donald, and they have to find a way to slow him down. On the flip side, though, you look at the way that Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is playing right now, arguably the best football of his career. And because of that and this Rams defense, I'm going to take Los Angeles to win big tomorrow by the score of 41-19. Now in Inglewood, you're going to have the 4-2 Los Angeles Chargers taking on the 3-4 New England Patriots. The Chargers come into this game fresh off of their bye, and they are hopeful that that extra rest will give them what they need to get things done at home versus the Patriots. But you look back to when these two teams met last year, and the Patriots went west, and they basically beat the brakes off of this Chargers team. You have to wonder if they could find a way to do it again. Rookie quarterback Mac Jones is playing very solid football. His confidence is much higher than that of a rookie that you would see. He really believes, and like I keep saying, the familiarity between the system that he's playing in now with the Patriots, as well as what he saw at Alabama, is right there. Justin Herbert has been a solid quarterback for the Chargers in his brief tenure. He continues to get better. But also, we've seen Patriots head coach Bill Belichick find a way to confuse young quarterbacks. And because of that, I'm going to take the Patriots in the upset tomorrow on the road by the score of 24-23. Now, in the Pacific Northwest, you're going to have the 2-5 Seattle Seahawks hosting the 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars. And for Seattle, no Russell Wilson equals plenty of problems for this team. Seattle, the best thing for them, they've got to try to find a way to get their running game going, and they have to rely on their defense. I think their defense really needs to step up against Jacksonville tomorrow. This is going to be a back and forth game. The Jacksonville Jaguars are playing with house money, and they feel like they can maybe travel west and sneak out a win. But I think Seattle finds a way to prevail by the score of 24-23. Now in Denver, you're going to have the 3-4 Broncos hosting the 2-5 Washington football team. And for Denver, they are another one of those teams where they got off to the hot start and things have really cooled off on them because they've been playing better teams. Their three wins came against the Giants, the Jets, and the Jaguars. So that's four combined wins between those three clubs. But you look at the Broncos; they're home right now, and I think their defense is really going to step up in this game versus Tyler Henneke and this Washington offense. Washington's defense has not been what it was last year, and because of that, I think that Broncos quarterback Teddy Bridgewater will be able to take advantage of that. Thus, I'm going to take Denver at home by the score of 24-17. Now you're going to have the 6-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to New Orleans to take on the 4-2 Saints. These two division rivals met three times last season. The Saints won both regular season contests, but it was the Bucs who went on the road and beat the Saints in the divisional round en route to winning the Super Bowl title. Of course, a lot has changed for the Saints since then. They're dealing with injuries, also a new quarterback as Drew Brees retired, and it's all about Jameis Winston right now. Winston has been up and down, but the bottom line is when the Saints run the football effectively with Alvin Kamara, things change for Winston with what he can and can't do. On the flip side, this Bucks offense, they're starting to get their sea legs, so to speak. I know that they're dealing with some injuries, but they still have Tom Brady back there navigating things at quarterback. You look at this Bucks defense; they have their fair share of injuries as well, but they have an opportunistic defense, and they know how to go out there and force turnovers. And when you think about that, they're facing a quarterback in Jameis Winston who throughout his career has been turnover prone. Not a recipe for success if you are New Orleans. And because of that, I'm going to take Tampa on the road tomorrow by the score of 27-23. Now, you're going to have the 5-1 Dallas Cowboys traveling to take on the 3-3 Minnesota Vikings tomorrow night on Sunday Night Football. The Vikings come into this contest favored by 3 points. And I think most of that is around the speculation in regards to the availability of Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. Will he play? Won't he play? I think that is going to be the $1 million question, even leading up to game time. For this Vikings team, after the slow start, they've gotten back on track and they feel like a win here could put them right back into the mix for a potential wild card spot in the NFC. I know that there is plenty of speculation around the availability of Prescott for tomorrow night's game, but I think Dak plays. And because of that, I'm going to take the Cowboys by the score of 31-23. And finally, on Monday Night Football, you're going to have the 3-4 Kansas City Chiefs hosting the 2-5 New York Giants. Now, Kansas City comes into this game favored by 9.5 points, but they're not playing good football right now. We talk about the turnovers with this Chiefs offense, most notably Patrick Mahomes. But also on the flip side of the ball, the Chiefs cannot stop anybody defensively, and that's a big thing. Kansas City is favored big in this game, but it's a situation where they're going to face a game New York Giants team. One thing that you can say for the most part for the Giants under head coach Joe Judge is that he tends to have this team ready to play each and every Sunday, or in this case, Monday night. The Giants, they go into this game and they really don't have anything to lose. They're 2-5, and nobody's expecting them to do anything versus the Chiefs. And at the flip side, the thing is, only one win really separates these teams right now. So that lets you know how far that the Chiefs have fallen back into the pack, if you would say the least. I think the Giants are going to go out there at the beginning of this game and try to swing for the fences. I think that they see tendencies with this Chiefs defense. They're going to go out there and try to get some big plays on offense to keep them in the game. And defensively, they're going to try to cause some ruckus to try to force some turnovers from Patrick Mahomes. This game is going to be much closer than the final score indicates, but I think Kansas City does find a way to pull it out at home. And because of that, I'm going to take the Chiefs by the score of 30-19. So, folks, those are my picks for week 8 here in the 2021 NFL season. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.